let's get over here by the drum. Gets it straight down. I think I'm still getting a little bit more wood to the drum, just in case wood. It's again almost same with the elbow, just a little, just in case wood. Like another instructor I had once mentioned that carving is like turning a stone when you're rock tumbling, which I know a lot about. Uh-oh. So I got in there. I hope we're okay. Is you just keep moving around and around and around, and yeah, especially if you're a beginning novice, you don't perfect one spot and then move to the next, because as you get to that next spot, you'll find out that your first spot will have to move a little bit. Here's under the drum. Remember, we're tilting the drum forward a little bit, so I'm going to make sure we put that tilt in there. I think I may have cut off a little more than I should have, but it does tilt this way a little bit, so we're all right. It tilts that way, so no, I guess I'm all right. Just kind of clean it up right there. That's because the drum is going to tilt. I still want to take a little bit more of that. Just taking that sharpness off. Ta-da! Now this boot is going back. If I bring it too close, I'm just bearing down on it, that's all. And all of this, I'm going to have to take my round tool in there. So that's what we're doing, is we're just shaping. Actually, we're not putting too much, not putting too much curves in it, other than taking some of the sharpness off. We're not really rounding anything yet, but I'm just going to have to get a round tool in there, or a smaller tool in there. I can get it started. But that's all I can do. Yeah, this is a harder piece of wood, so I'm really bearing down. Yeah, I don't think I can get my chisel in there. But at least I got it started to come to an understanding that that leg is back. Okay, who's next? I'll do a little bit more on this chisel here. Sort of like, I think I'm more too lazy to put this down and grab another tool. Right now, I just want to, but you know, I think I'm going to have to now. Okay, what do we got so far before I put this chisel down? I'm going to take this off. Like I said, this is not part of the design right here for me, is that I could not get the blade in there. This saw is getting kind of old and to kind of do what it wants. Which is okay for now, as long as I can get the wood cut. Okay, what I want to do next is, while I got the chisel out, I am going to shape the head just a little bit. Like I said, it's going to turn this way, and I want some of this off. Let's start with the corner. Ooh, this is, remember I was telling you about the grain? Grain is misbehaving here. And whereas we don't want it around the head. let's just take all these. I'm just taking these blasted corners off. These painful corners off here. Just a little bit here, maybe a little bit here. Take a little bit of that off in there. Now right here is the back of the head. Now when you want to turn the head, if he's just turning the head slightly, like he's just looking at something, generally you keep the elbows, generally you keep the shoulders in line. So in other words, you don't turn the shoulders too. The shoulders usually straight, and he's turning his head a little bit if you do. If you do any head turning, and you should do head turns, head tilts. You should. Now that picture that I showed you, this one here, is that I believe he's Confederate. He does not have the kepi hat on like my soldiers did. But you can still, whenever you can paint him, gray if you wish. We're all American, well, for us who are in America right now, but anyways, very interesting that I have seen, get on the internet and look for Civil War, American Civil War reenactments, and there are some in different countries. European countries, and it's really interesting. I still want to take a little more off here. Yeah, right here it's really stiff, and the green is really funky here. I can always tell it by see how reflective it is, and just right at the wrong spot. But we move forward. I thought we'll have this in hand. Just saw this at a different angle here. I wonder if I can still do this. No, I better keep that to the round tool. The head is still a little too big. Sorry, I got a little distracted, but I think we took the roundness out of it. But what I want to do, get the where's my knife? Let's just take a little bit. I'm just want to. Oh yeah, that is punky. Boya, boya. We may be in trouble with that, but let's see how well we do with a wood that's kind of not the way we want it. Okay, I want to continue a little bit of, while we're at it, let's make that at a 90-degree angle. Oh, the punk just keeps coming all the way up. And with that, I'm getting kind of close to my holding hand there, the left hand. Gee, these tools are really making a lot of, you know what, well, I think it's a bit too late now. We're getting close to the end of all of this really bearing down stuff. Should have done it earlier. Let's cut this. Like I said, I want this to be at a 90-degree angle. Oh, that's punky right there. I'm going to take a knife to that. That is super punk. I think I should just take a knife to that for right now. See if that'll help. Hip matters. Let's see, where are you? Oh, that is so punky. You can hear it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's okay everywhere else. A little bit at the feet, but let's start getting a 90%, 90 degree going there. And if that is 90 degree, let's just start in on rounding it so that we don't lose. The punk doesn't come around here as much. It's still there. Just keep it rounding this way, not this way, this way. Oh boy. I mean, mostly it's going to be the hat is going to be up there, but oi, hiya, hiya. But again, I don't want to get too perfect on the roundness of this right now as I okay, resume chisel, but while I'm off in this, where is a nice round chisel? I should have prepared about that, sorry. So a nice round. Give it just a shot with my, give it a twist. I'm gonna use this honing powders. It's a sort of a white aluminum oxide. I think it's aluminum oxide or something like that. It's the white powder, I think. I don't know if anything else comes in white for honing other than aluminum oxide, something to that effect. And same with here, I got a little bit of that green and a little bit of just enough to smooth it out so it'll go better. My chisel glove back on. Like I said, this is the one I want to go here. Yeah, that's quite a bit better here. We still on camera, but you really haven't missed much. Like I said, keeping that open for now, even though I'm pretty sure that a good chunk of that is going to leave, but I'd rather have it for now. Again, keeping my other arm out of the way while I'm chiseling away, and I think we're getting close to start, working things. I mean, we can always chisel some more. But let's throw all this aside here. This is what we got so far. I mean, whacked up as it is. So I got the chest with the head rounded a little bit. I didn't round the crown part, but I want to start, I think I want to start with the drum because everything focuses on the drum. I mean, his hand focuses on the drum. His leg focuses on the drum. Oh, excuse me. See if I can keep focus here, because remember, I've got... Okay, where are you? You still there? Okay. I had my... Like I said, I'm using my S9 camera, and when I did this, it kind of gave me some kind of message. I think I went too fast. Oh, excuse me, got the dryness in the back of the throat. I do have my dad's Civil War drum. Well, it's not My dad, I mean, it was given to my dad by some uncle in the war. Now, as I'm doing the drum, as I'm going to work around the drum, I do notice that, see his hand, this hand here, both of them are above the drum, of course, obviously. So I'm going to be okay with, and so what's going to happen is that drum is going to be, with the exception of the sticks, in which we will drill holes and put sticks in, is that, oh boy, a dry throat, is that it's pretty well all untouched except for the back of the leg. So it's a round thing connected to the back of the leg. So I think I can take quite a bit off yet. Let me just do this. Let's use, oh, where's my round? There it is. So I'm just going to chisel just a little bit out of here. See, that's what I like to do. This first part of doing all of this stuff, I forgot to get in here. I'll get in here. I can do that without my chisel glove. The thing is this is, I almost want to say without thinking. You just cut. Take that piece off, cut, go. And then think later, but when you do think later, make sure you got extra wood to see it better. And like I said, I'm still a little leery about that. I'll see what we can do at the end. A little bit of shape in here yet. So putting the angle of the drum. So do consider when you're carving things to put twists or turns in not only the head but in the item. See, even the, instead of having the drum straight up and down. Now if you're, I want to say, next to beginning wood carving or novice or something, if you want to go ahead and try straight head. See, my my pattern, I had a straight head. And it's kind of interesting that the wood kind of, I wanted to turn it a little bit. Because even though, now what he's doing, either A, he's at attention, or B, what I want to say is well, he's just kind of at attention, and he's looking, he's got his gun down, and he's ready to go to war or to battle. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So it's a little, even though it's kind of relatively stagnant, that carving, it kind of stagnant-ish, is that the kid, I'm trying to think, kids, how they get a little distracted. And so that's why we can put movement in him, even if he is supposed to be at attention. And what I'm doing right now, this very second, is I have got, oh, there it is, a chip that got in the middle finger of this, and it was not comfortable. So let's just cut. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let me see if we can do. Let me start chipping here. This is, of course, the top grain, the end grain, on a hard piece of wood. So this is gonna be fun. I mean, it's possible to use it, but at least let's get it started. There, got it started there. Got it started there. Uh-oh, there goes something. And the drum is a little forward. I'm going to give him more arm hand than I think he needs. It's kind of interesting. I've done, I think when I first started carving with, I had a Harley rough saw tape course, at the time you had tape. Well, no, I think it's DVD. There were some tapes at the time. Anyways, and I do believe I had mentioned this, that he did like a Charlie, Oscar Charlie, I think is his name. And then learned from it, of course. Made my Oscar Charlie. And then I had his pattern of the Pie Lady. And so what I did was rewind it or start from scratch and use that video and translated as much as I could between Oscar Charlie and the Scandinavian Pie Lady. And I think I did pretty good. Just using the cuts and start with the arms this way and the hand that way and the leg this way. And actually it had a skirt instead of I'm going to cut this. And so the point I was trying to get at is that you can use this video and kind of restart, and if you want to do something else or somebody else's pattern. Because I don't want to twist this. I want to be careful I don't hurt myself with this. This is almost freehand here. There we go. Now I'm getting to the wrist. Yeah, be careful. See, right here, this is freehand, which means I got no control other than just pay attention. I want to make sure that I'm still in. Here we go. So now we're seeing the hand away from the drum. Now the drum is starting to shape. Still square. And this is the time to kind of see. Now the thing is here, this has got to go back. So in other words, more off, close to the leg. It's kind of funny how it's starting to chatter there. Might need to sharpen it, but or is it the wood? Sometimes the wood you can have a super sharp knife. Yeah, there we go. And it's still. Yeah, I think I'm pretty glad that I'm starting with the drum, because as I'm doing this, I'm beginning to see how things fit better. See, it's got to move forward, tilt forward. Getting there. I think I'll shape that. I think when I start to round this, I'll shape it moving forward, because then instead of cutting pieces that are going to get cut off. So remember, I want this thing to be against the leg. The leg is still here. So kind of a stop cut. Yeah, then it gets to a point where I like to put the chisel down. The chisel's done, mostly. And with this, because it's hardwood and I want to keep moving, usually what I like to do, especially when I do step-by-step pictures for Wood Carving Illustrated or my books and everything, is that I like to have this each clean, but on the other hand is that we're just still flying, and I don't want to, oops, it goes this way. I'm going to take this chatter off, this saw chatter off, to get a better feel. And again, it's tilted, and it's tilted forward, but I think I'm still going to have it. Well, I think it's still kind of straight. No, I think when we turn it, we'll be ended up taking more of this off than this. So it's a little more twisted this way. So, with that, I just want to take a stop break here and make sure before we do this, before we start rounding, because that's going to be the first rounding, I want to make sure we got all of this where we want it to be. We got the head, with the exception of rounding the dome. The head is relatively okay for now. Let's cut some more of this off. That's like, because it's sort of like, I like to get the big chisels out when I start, and then get the knife and start rounding. But I might use the chisel to start rounding. Maybe just the rounding part, and then after that, then it's knife time. Okay, so this arm is relatively decent. This arm is relatively decent, and the neck, the drum. I don't know what to do with this. If I give it a couple more swipes, will that fix it? Or well, let's get closer. And I got this about as clean as I can for right now. Yeah, just like I like to get rid of all of this heavy stuff, and it leaves you with the rest is, I would say, detail number one. Medium details, you might say. So let's brush this all off here, get this off here. We're gonna make some more dents right there. Okay, here he is, still gonna, at this spot, at this time, this is what he looks like. Now we're starting to see something. We're starting to really see. Now we can start rounding the head and the drum. The drum, I think the drum is a matter of rounding and making sure it's positioned right. Same with arms and legs and the body, but the head is going to be difficult because it is, like I said, it's some really hard punky wood. But this is what we got so far. So what do you got? Are you up to snuff? Hopefully you don't got that cut mark, and then hopefully you can saw that in. Is good.